This video is an example of editing an image in Nik Color Efex Pro 4. It's to go along with the Lone Tree project. So I've opened this picture in Color Efex Pro from Lightroom. In Lightroom, all I did was I opened up the shadows a little bit and brought down the highlights a little bit, just to even out the exposure slightly of the picture before I start editing it in Nik. I have the filter library open rather than the recipes. Obviously there's the menu drop down for the recipes and the history here, but the way I'm going to use it today is just with the filter library. So I'm just going to edit this image in a style that I practiced previously with about 3 different filters. So to start with, I'm going to use Detail Extractor. So down here is Detail Extractor, and I will play around with these. I'm going to turn this Detail Extractor slider up a little bit to somewhere around here, so you get lots and lots of detail in the shadows. Brings out all the leaves and the textures in the grasses. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave that one around about there, just to give me a good basis to start using the other ones. When I want to use another filter, I go down to the Add Filter tab, click on that, and then go back over to the left to choose another filter from the filter library. And for this one, I'm going to choose Bleach Bypass. Bleach Bypass, again, is taken from Darkroom Days. So the bleach in the name is bleach, actual chemical bleach that was used in the darkroom. I think with this one, I'm going to turn up the saturation to sort of round about 0. Or just plus a little bit. Leave the contrast round about there and the local contrast round about there. And I'm going to add another filter, and this is going to be darken or lighten center. I'm going to stick with a drop down box here at shape number 1, and with the center luminosity I'm going to go to quite a large percentage, about almost completely 100%. With the border luminosity, I'm going to drop that down to get some vignetting going on. And probably leave the center size more or less where it is. You can move it around to see how you think it looks. But the center size just alters how much of the brighter part of the middle that you have. So I think I'm going to leave that around about there, just so the edges darken off slightly. And then for the last filter to get for this image, I'm going to use a graduated neutral density filter, which is down here on the left. For the first slider, the upper tonality, I'm going to drag it right down to the bottom to get a really rich, dark colour at the top. Lower tonality, I'm going to turn that up a little bit so I get a brighter bottom half. Because the lower tonality is obviously how dark or how bright the low part of the picture is, or the bottom part of the picture is. and conversely upper tonality is the brightness of the top half of the picture. I'm probably going to leave the, well, I'm going to just play with the blend to see whereabouts that midpoint comes. And I'm not going to play with the vertical shift or the rotation because that just turns the whole thing round. So yeah, I'm going to leave that. I'm going to leave that like that for this conversion. It's not naturalistic, but it has a very graphic sort of highly detailed, highly coloured effect, which I quite like for this image. I realise that the effect on the sky is quite extreme, but I think for this image it works okay. I may not use this effect for too many images, but I think as a practice for color effects, I think it's fair to say that it's quite a strong image. So I'm going to save that and go back into Lightroom with it.